Can't wait to see that guy play. Top of the ladder here in the East Asia server region, I believe it is. And now we're moving right in to picks and bans. One ban for each side. First off, interestingly enough, the team that has had the first ban and first pick has lost every game so far in the tournament.
Oh, that's a great point, though. I'm glad you bring it up. It's kind of counterintuitive because you would think first ban, first pick is quite an advantage, but in fact, doesn't seem to be, as they are 0-6.
So Arden and Koshka the bans, it looks like. That's a Sky first pick for GankStars.
Yeah. Very funny that Arden gets banned out here. It's going to be the first time we do see that ban, and Arden won't be able to continue his undefeated streak coming out in every game. Sorry, Arden.
It's like Celeste and Catherine now for Wild. They're 2 picks. Celeste has been one of the heroes I've enjoyed playing a little bit more lately. You can be a very bloodthirsty support.
Oh, yes.
Can't you in Vainglory? And I say support, but I know I mean like roamer, jungler. It's not really quite support as we know it maybe from some other games. And Glaven Fortress picked up for GankStars.
This is kind of interesting. It looks like Kuldamik is not going to go with Rona. They don't have that same composition with the Daju and Arden, so it does make sense. Very strong on the Glaive regardless, but the Fortress support coming out here. Something I was even talking to you about before the cast, something I did not expect to come out today.
Well, you were thinking that Fortress wasn't quite as strong right now in the meta, but we'll see what they can do. Ringo, the last pick over for Wild. I know Ringo because he's in every single game you play at the lower levels. Every single game you have 2 Ringos.
So yeah, we are going to have that Ringo jungle, and looks like, or actually no, it's going to be Ringo lane and a jungle Celeste.
Ah, okay. Huh. It's a bit interesting. And welcome to the Halcyon Fold, guys. Game 1 of the day here at the Vainglory International Premier League, with GankStars taking on Wild. And let's get this thing going.
Okay, so both teams right off the bat looking to mix it up. We're actually going to have Kuldamik in the lane. The jungle player, obviously, for GankStars, playing that lane Glaive.
Why are they doing this to me, man?
I don't know. It's your first day of Vainglory.
My first Vainglory cast.
And it's all mixed up. It's all mixed up.
Everything I know is wrong. Well, what do you think about this, though? I mean, this isn't something we see a whole lot, obviously.
Yeah. Well, we've seen the Glaive in the lane before out of Kuldamik, and he dominated, okay? This guy knows what he's doing on Glaive. He's played it probably more than any other hero. And I wouldn't be surprised if they came into this game with this exact composition in mind.
Maybe thinking about something there, but just pushing the lane either way right now. Mong finding Invisible Naraki Zoro in the jungle there, loses about half his health before backing off. They do have that scout trap, though, near where the gold miner will be eventually, so they'll have a little bit of info.
And, you know, Kuldamik taking that afterburn first. I like the idea with the early gank, but it looked like Night Ray was kind of catching on to that and was playing very safe back in the lane, was able to evade that gank.
Oh, Mong taking a bit of damage, but he'll be just fine. So, is it not too tough for this Glaven lane, considering it's kind of melee versus ranged? How much can Night Ray really harass on that Ringo?
Well, it's kind of hard because the second you do a bit of damage to the other laner, you're going to get aggro from all of those minions in the lane. Also, with the Book of Eulogies, every single time you kill a creep, you get a little bit of health back. So you can have an immense amount of sustain in the lane with melee. I love what they've done, actually. They've made melee laning essentially possible with this one item.
Very cool.
Makes, you know, it definitely mixes up the meta.
Yeah, I suppose so. Night Ray forced back there. Avoiding the damage from that. Now Zeratul may be in a little bit of trouble. GankStars going deep in the enemy jungle, and that's the first kill of the game. Going over to GankStars. That's Celeste. Not really a lot of defensive measures you can pull in a 1v3 so early.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate positioning there. Mon took the correct way out, dodging to the left side of the jungle, is actually going to pick up some of those creeps. Does look like Gabe Bizzle is coming back and is going to try to force Catherine not to recall here.
Yeah. Gabe Bizzle avoiding the damage from that scout trap. Mong a little bit behind enemy lines here. He's going to get spotted. Can he recall? No, not in time. Mong in a lot of trouble here. Has to back away. Can he get to his teammates in time? Rocky Zoro coming from behind with that Sky. Zeratul's locked up with him. Looks like they're going to turn on to Zeratul now. Call the Meat coming down from the lane. He's taking a lot of damage, though, and Irakizoro has to back away. Just a little bit too dangerous right now to pursue that, it looks like. Yeah. Night Ray, meanwhile, able to just kind of hang out in lane, get a few more CS.
Kind of funny that Iraqi did back off there. I suppose he thought that Ringo was going to rotate down and help out that Celeste.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering. It seemed like he had a decent one-on-one, but
yeah,
I would assume he would know better than both of us. So,
well, just playing it a bit safe, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
nothing wrong with that.
Overall, it's looked like Wild has been a little bit torn apart as a team. You know, Mon going very deep in the jungle, everything kind of all over the place. Everybody from that team separated and not able to successfully team fight, whereas GankStars playing a very safe game. They did one invade there,
yeah,
but only found one kill and a bit of farm. Overall, it's very even. Still, you know, 3.2k gold to 3.2k gold. No big advantage going either way.
Has begun.
Yep. In case you missed that, mining has begun, guys. I don't know if you caught that right there, but
yeah, mining has begun.
It has begun. So Zeratul taking that Celeste back into the jungle. Now, he got caught earlier, but he should be able to stay fairly safe, you know, checking brushes with the heliogenesis and all that, I would imagine.
Did see the just coming back right in time to pick up this farm. It looks like GankStars got a bit of a better rotation, though.
Yeah.
Having control of this middle part of the jungle, you see so many scout traps around the middle side, all those blue dots. There's only one scout trap there, very nicely placed by Wild to see if that gold mine is going to be taken.
Not bad at all. And they keep waiting for these opportunities here. Night Ray knows what's up. They keep forcing him back to his turret. Doesn't seem like it's really cost him too much on CS. He's down by about 10. It looks like GankStars is going to go for this gold miner fairly early. Here comes Wild, though.
Yeah.
I would rate that payout as decent. How about you?
It was decent, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with decent.
But yeah, just a really nice rotation to kind of get them out of position.
Irakizoro stunned by that Celeste. He's going to go back in on the Night Ray, though. Irakizoro needs to be careful. Low health Night Ray. Speaking of low health, look at all of that damage. Mong, the last one standing, but that is going to be an ace, a perfect ace for GankStars. And that is certainly going to propel them ahead in this game.
You know what? I think that Arden ban was the best thing they ever could have done because Mong doesn't look quite as practiced on this Catherine. I think he was preparing a lot of Arden, especially because Arden is the biggest, you know, roam pick right now in the meta.
Yeah. But
a really nice read by GankStars to ban that out, and they are absolutely dominating this game.
Call the Meek backing off a little bit, but able to take some of the jungle monsters on his way. Wild considerably behind in gold now. At this point, how do you come back? I mean, you're losing control of your jungle. You just have to play it safe, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean...
Let's watch a replay of that fight, though.
Yeah, we do have that replay here. You just see Night Ray gets totally knocked out of the fight, and the Skyhult was raining down onto both Celeste and Catherine, who had no support, obviously, from the Ringo, who took way too much damage early on. It was just a bad place, bad position to fight there for Wild.
Well, when you funnel through a choke like that, Sky is just going to absolutely destroy you, and that's a big part of what happened. Wild caught a little bit more. They don't want to fight GankStars right now. They're going to go in. Game is a little bit low, though. Looks like Wild may be able to turn this one around. The Skyhole not doing a whole lot. Irakizoro, though, still gets into the back lines. And this is going a little bit better for Wild this time. Irakizoro has to back off. Can he get another kill onto Mong here? But no, the Catherine gets a stun. Irakizoro dodging around. Forward barrage, not quite getting the kill he wanted. Trying to keep that gold miner close. He'd, of course, attack Wild for Irakizoro. Looks like he'll be able to maybe get away. Can he get past Zeratul here?
Oh, you got that lock on for the speed.
He did. Forward barrage misses, though. He's going to dive back. Gonna ult. And looks like that's going to be enough. The teammates coming back in. Wild didn't back off in time. And they lose Mong. Irakizoro, the ultimate long con there. The bait worked. Mong going back into the jungle, but Call the Meek. Gabe Vizzle already there.
Yeah, that was just a fantastic job by Irakizoro to delay for that long of a time. He knew when to back off. He missed some of his forward barrages in those fights, which was unfortunate. Let's take a look at that replay here.
Yeah. Well, you can see the initial ult zoned a bit, but didn't do the damage that they were looking for. anymore.
And he misses that forward barrage. He probably could have taken out both Zeratul and Night Ray if he had hit that, but it was a bit unfortunate. He does have the Frostburn at this point in time, so he is able to kite quite successfully. Fortunately, nice juke by Zeratul to force Iraqi Zoro back. Hits one of his supernovas as well.
And then it was that second death from above that really helped kind of put Wild a little bit off of their position so that GankStars can come back in and win that long follow-up fight later on. GankStars seems to have all the pressure in this game right now with a near 4K gold lead here.
Yeah. The question was coming into this game, you know, Wild was easily able to dispose of DMG, the Chinese favorite, outside of Hunters coming over here, and they look so strong. The question was, could they do well against GankStars? It seems like the answer to that so far is not so much.
Not quite. Catherine with a little stun onto the Meek's Glaive there, but no real follow-up from Wild. Gonna just take another monster on the way out. That jungle has just belonged completely to GankStars for like the last, I feel like 5 minutes or something now.
Yeah, they have total control. They've got the gold mine. Lots of minion candies used there as well to keep control.
Diving in for the moment goes VIPL.
Yeah.
Just continuing to push Wild back.
It's interesting, you know, with the Arden Man that they went for, and then looking at their composition, all 3 members on the side of GankStars can just jump in and catch one member in the back lines at all costs, and Arden is the best right now at protecting you know, a soft carry, you know, a very squishy guy in the back. So their composition works directly against that.
Taking a ton of damage, and VIPL diving in for the kill there. Rocky Zoro drops a death from above, zoning Mong around to the top side. Will they be able to get the turret out of this? It looks like they can. You're absolutely right. I mean, if you lack that ability that Arden gives you to vanguard your teammates, give them that barrier, suddenly picks like Ringo and Celeste are a lot more squishy.
Yeah, which is exactly why you can just tell GankStars is way ahead in terms of just understanding of the game of Vainglory, ahead of these teams from Korea who are newer to the game, of course. GankStars has been around for a very long time, so it is going to take a while for these teams to catch up in terms of understanding, and GankStars is definitely proving that in both of their games so far.
Right. And we've seen Mong try so many setups with that Merciless Pursuit, that little stun, but it seems like Wild is just way too fragile against what GankStars has been able to put together in this game, and the gold lead's pretty insane right now.
They just have no real protection. They can get a silence out of Mong, but even so, that's not going to last for very long. They've gotten enough of a lead at this point that even if they are silenced, just their straight up auto attacks may even win them the game, or rather the fight.
That's possible. I mean, Mong's going to need like the perfect blast tremor essentially to set up a win for Wild, but that's kind of something that may be a little bit far from possible right now. We'll see.
He's going to have to, you know, maybe counterintuitively just sit in the back lines and hope to catch all 3 of them and then join the fight. Interestingly enough, Mong picks up a Shiver Steel, which is not exactly an item that's going to protect his allies. But I suppose we'll keep them at more of a distance.
Well, I mean, maybe the best defense is a good offense. I don't know.
I suppose.
What do you do if you're Wild at this point now? I mean, you're down by like nearly 7,000 gold. You haven't been into your side of the jungle in a very long time.
This is what games against GankStars look like, essentially.
It seems that way. Wow, Call the Meek moving in, getting a lot of damage on the Night Ray right away. Has to back off for the moment. Mong throws down the ultimate, but there's the ult from Rocky Zoro. Zero to a little bit of trouble. Rocky Zoro getting back forward. Barrage shot backwards into Wild. First member goes down. Night Ray trying to kite backwards. And Mong, the last man standing for his team. VIPL did go down in the early stages of that, but it's still an easy win for GankStars in this fight, going 3 for 1, only losing that fortress. And Rocky Zoro can just wait for that next wave to catch up, and that's going to be another easy turret kill after that ace for GankStars. Yeah,
pretty unbelievable fight there. They're fighting 3-on-3 underneath the turret, and even a really nice core collapse lands onto GankStars, but they still, Wild still cannot take that fight in the perfect position, essentially, which is what we were talking about.
I mean, it just shows you how far ahead GankStars are.
Yeah.
And it seems like this one's going to get closed out pretty quickly.
could just be a matter of minutes, Doa, here, as that gold mine is reaching completion. They're going to get another big gold payout.
Yep.
And then eventually probably get this Kraken.
Let's watch that fight again. A good setup. And the pack in for GankStars.
Yeah, tons of damage coming out, mainly from Iraqi Zero, but Kuldamik does a fantastic job of getting in there onto Ringo, essentially disabling him for a large portion of that fight.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what their composition is designed to do, just to get to that back line and force Ringo to be, you know, just not in a very comfortable place and animation canceling and be on the offensive as he likes to do.
Yeah. And Iraqi Zoro has been so good too mechanically. It really is impressive watching this guy play.
Yeah. And you know what? He's been playing a lot of Jungle Sky on stream. I've been watching a lot of his stream recently, so I don't think he gave it away per se. He loves to play Sky in the lane as well, but it definitely does show that they are favoring Sky heavily at this point in time on this patch. Definitely one of the strongest heroes, if not the strongest right now, in Vainglory on 1.11.
Yeah, certainly seems that way. But I think it goes back to the bans. I mean, we talked about a little bit already, but I think GankStars just really threw Wild off with that Arden ban. And we're looking like we're going to have the first game in the tournament that the first ban team wins the match.
Yeah, that's actually true. I'm glad you point that out.
Weirdly enough.
Yeah, Wild's going to have to win probably 2 or 3 team fights in a row in order to come back in this one. They still have not taken out even one turret at this point in time, so tons of gold.
Oh, here we go, going in. Kuldamik tries to engage with that afterburn. They're going to get all over Night Ray anyway. Iraqi Zoro zoning in Wild with his ultimate. There goes Zeratul, and it is not even close. Man, there's no Arden in this game, but GankStars still put them in the gauntlet, that's for sure.
It's very true, Doa, and I think that may just be game. I mean, not a lot of time on these death timers yet, but...
Are we actually going to see a sub-16-minute game? It looks like we are. I mean, death timers are short, but not short enough. Zeratul up in 2 seconds, but he's not going to be able to save that crystal, and that is going to be game number 1. GankStars absolutely crushes Wild.